Hello and happy Sunday. And I've got this super bright computer going on again. Oh, I'll have to try and get rid of that. Let me see if I can work on that just a little bit. Actually, I may change to another screen for a few minutes so that we don't have that super brightness. Hey Casey, you're not here to do my tech support for me, and I'm super bright today. Happy Sunday, everybody. While I work on the brightness here just a little bit, give me just a second to work on that, to change to something else that maybe is not so bright. Anyway, happy Sunday, everybody. Today is, hey Sheila, today is Sunday, September the 17th. Hey Melissa. And if you are watching this live with us, then today is Sunday, September the 17th. Hey Shirley. And if you are not watching this live, hey Sybil. If you're not watching this live, then you're going to be confused because I'm going to sit here and talk to everybody. Hey Kim and Kim, we've got dueling Kims here, 2 Kims in a row. And hey Dorothy. Hey Georgiana. Or Georgianne. So everybody, yeah, if you're watching it with us live tonight, it is Sunday, September the 17th. And if you're watching this on YouTube or something later, then it's not September the 17th. Or I don't know, maybe it is. Maybe you're just watching it really late. Hey Linda, hey Dina, hey Robin, hey Casey again, hey Tedders is here, hey Denise. So if you're watching this later on YouTube, you're going to be really confused because I'm saying hi to people. And too bad. This is a live Weight Watchers chat, and this is number 39. I can't believe that we've already done 39 of these, or this will be 39. So that's absolutely crazy. And hey Nancy, it's good to see you again. So you know my disclaimers. So this is a live Facebook chat, so I will be talking to people. And if y'all notice when we were talking about activity and fidgeting, I'm already fidgeting in the chair. Anyway, hey Cheryl and hey Ashley. So yeah, back to the disclaimer. So this is a live Facebook chat. I will be talking to people. I will be answering questions. And if you're watching this later on YouTube, sorry, this is a live chat. So if it bothers you that I'm talking to people, you'll just have to get over it. And you'll have to find something else to watch. Hey, Margaret. And yeah, also the other disclaimer is that I am not a Weight Watchers leader and I am not paid by Weight Watchers. I am not endorsed by them, and anything that I say, Weight Watchers, Beyond the Scale, Smart Points, anything like that, those are copyrighted property of Weight Watchers International, and they don't make me say that. I just say it because I don't want to offend, and I just love Weight Watchers. So I had a couple of people ask me today if I was a Weight Watchers leader. Of course, I get that question asked all the time, and no, I'm not an official Weight Watchers leader. Those ladies work way too hard. They spend way more time. I mean, y'all think I spend a lot of time on this? Whew, our leader, Gwen, she spends way more time than I've got. That lady is at everything. So yeah, no, I'm not an official Weight Watchers leader, so I'm not paid. I am not paid by them. I just do this because I love it. And like I told Julie a couple of weeks ago, it started as kind of a one-time fun thing. And I told her, you know, now that she's been posting how often she walks and how many steps she walks, once you start it, you can't stop. Obviously, yeah, because we're on number 39. But anyway, does anybody remember what we talked about last week? Anybody? Anybody remember these little babies? Yeah, anybody remember those? So I want to know who my acorns are, who my oak trees are. So who did a great job last week and went ahead and planned something and remembered your 4 W's? Do you remember your 4 W's from last week? Yeah, so last week we had what, when, where, and who. Hey Betty. Hey Pat. And Tammy got to make the live feed. She always watches it on YouTube. So hey Tammy. Yep, Cheryl knows what, when, and where. Hey Stacy. Hey Wendy. Okay, so who did one of these? I did one last week. So mine for last week was I was going to get back into this walking. So you know I had this big plan one, and Sally, you're late. And I know somebody reminded you not to be late. But anyway, hey Stacy, how are you? And it's okay, Cheryl. And Cheryl says she missed the who. That's okay, Cheryl. So, oh, I completely forgot to say. We'll get back to last week in just a second. But if you want to watch this later, it will be on Facebook. Hey, Mary. It's always on Facebook, and it is on, they'll be on YouTube. So on Facebook, it's here on the page, or I'll share it to our closed group. And if you want to join our closed group, please, 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 pretty please answer the 4 or the 3 questions that it asks you. They're very easy questions. I have over 400 people right now waiting to see if they're going to be in our group simply because they haven't answered the questions. And I don't have time to go check on all of you people. So anyway, please answer those. And you can watch on YouTube later, and it's just youtube.com/IfYouHaveAnEgg. If you watch it on YouTube, or if you watch any of the chats on YouTube, all of them are on there. So if you watch any of the chats on YouTube, please just remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Pretty please subscribe. Hey Tina, we are only 300, I think so, like 300 subscribers away from that the magic portal of 1,000 that opens up something. I don't know what it opens up, but we're going to find out because we're getting close. And hey, Lynn. Okay. Oh, and also you can catch these on my blog. That's www.ifyouhaveanegg.com. And hey, Donna, and I'm sure Casey or somebody really sweet will type that down there for me. So I can see that Sally and her cohorts are already fussing. So yeah, we'll calm them down here in just a second. And hey, Debbie, good to see you. So last week, who did a what, when, where, and who made a goal? Hey, Mickey. So thank you, Casey. So my big picture one was that Karen and I were going to come up with a bad weather plan. And so far, I have not successfully talked her into that. So don't know why. Don't know why she's dragging her feet on that, and I hope she's not here tonight to know that I'm fussing about it. But anyway, I was not successful getting her to, so far, not successful getting her to participate with me in a bad weather plan. And Lynn says that she did her plan. So Lynn, we want you to type that here so that we can see what your who, what, when, and where is. Yes. So my baby one. And thank you for subscribing on YouTube, Betty. So my baby, the little baby plan was that I wanted to walk Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday this week. So Monday every day but Tuesday, basically. And my who was, also the when was in the mornings on the mornings every day. And my who was in the morning. It was with John if he was home, and with Dusty. And Dusty was a willing participant every single morning. And then also on Monday and Thursday night and Sunday with my accountability buddy Karen. And so, and where is here downtown in the mornings, and 2 of the nights with Karen in her neighborhood, and hey Jennifer, and Sunday here. So we did that. So I met my goal. I made a goal and I met my goal this week, which was awesome. And for today, we actually walked 3 times today, because I walked with Dusty and John this morning, then I walked with Karen this afternoon, and then Dusty and I had to go back and take 3rd walks this afternoon because he got left in the loft for an hour and was very upset when we got back that he had been left for an hour by himself because Daddy wasn't home and Casey was busy. Sissy Casey was busy. So yeah. So he actually went back out with me again for 3rd walks, and we went over to the Olaf Festival. But so far today, I got 15,000 steps. So pretty awesome. Okay, who attended a meeting this week? I got to go. Of course, I try to go every week. But this week's meeting, this is the little book we got. And if you're watching this on YouTube, yes, I know it's backwards. You don't need to tell me that it's backwards. So, and oh, Casey says Dusty needs extra cuddles. Quick little sidetrack here. Dusty did get extra cuddles today because one of the nurses at the nursing home that Nana lives at, one of the nurses picked him up and refused to put him down, and she carried him for probably 30 minutes. Yeah. So anyway, he did get some extra cuddles today. Okay, all of you girls that are saying that you did set a goal for this week, and if you made your goal, I seriously want y'all to top them to, put them down here. So Lynn had her what was do 40 minutes of arm exercises Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. And then, of course, I have to touch to see more because you all are scrolling. But, oh, and Cheryl says her first meeting since Harvey flooded their meeting room. Oh, so you're in Texas, Cheryl. Okay, yeah, so let us know how that's going. And I'm hoping there's a couple of our Florida girls that didn't get to attend meetings this week, and I'm hoping that they're going to be here. So I still want you to attend your regular meetings, because this is not an official Weight Watchers meeting. It's just us. It's just us, okay? Yeah, so it's not an official meeting. But when you go to your official meeting, if you attend physical meetings, be sure and grab one of these. And if you miss a week, normally the leaders will have extras. Hold on, let's see. Donna says, not me, Mom finally got to go to rehab center after 19 days in the hospital. Okay, yeah, we need an update on that too, Donna. And Caroline did 3 workout DVDs this week. Woo! What 3? Wow, that's awesome. Yeah, and hey, Diane says hello from Michigan. So anyway, yes, I know it's backwards. Always grab one of these when you're at your meeting. If you miss a meeting, be sure and ask for one. And Nancy says she had blue dots all week, walked 6 out of 7 days, and it paid off because she lost 4.3 pounds. That is awesome. That is awesome. And Melissa, Melissa is just Mel in another area that I know her. So Mel says she's an online member and she grabs the weekly PDF on the Weight Watchers website. And she loves that they can, okay, and Dusty's already hooing. Just come upstairs, buddy. Come on. Come on. Come upstairs. Everybody, I want to see you anyway. Just come upstairs. Okay. He's really being a booger tonight because Daddy left and I came upstairs and left him downstairs. And because I walked without him. But anyway. Okay, so yes, always grab them. You can get them online. If you're an online member, you can get them and you can pick up extra copies at your Weight Watchers meeting. So yeah, I think you need to get one. So we're going to dive right into this. The meeting this week was about boosting awareness. And so it says, boost awareness. But I have cleverly named it To the Blue Dot and Beyond. And if y'all remember this, you know what I'm talking about. And you know what I'm having a countdown to. Yeah. Let's see. And Linda joined a running group and found running accountability buddies. Awesome sauce. That is so good. And by the way, applesauce, unsweetened applesauce is 0 points. So every time you say awesome sauce, it's like you're getting, 0 points of goodness. Okay, I don't know why I said that. Okay, boosting the awareness. I've got to switch back to the glaring screen. So sorry about that because it's got all my notes on it. So sorry I'm so brightly lit. Yeah, we'll try to angle this screen so maybe I'm not quite so bright. Come on, little screen. Give me just a second. I don't know why it just all of a sudden started doing that. But anyway, so, okay, boosting awareness. So I'm going to ask y'all a question. So do you think, what would y'all think if I told you, and Dusty's already up. So what would y'all think if I told you that I wanted you to go jump in your car right now and I wanted you to go on a trip, in case he put down our countdown for the days, what would y'all think if I wanted you to jump in your car right now and head out on a trip, but I didn't want you to look and see how much gas you had? You can't look at your gas. You're just going to get in your car, and somebody must have done an angry face because Sally's already on the move. But anyway, what if I wanted you to just get in your car and go on a trip but without checking the gas? You wouldn't do that. That's crazy. Nobody would get in their car and go ahead and go leave for a trip without checking the gas. What if I said, okay, your teenager needs to go on a shopping trip, but you can't check your bank account before you go. And heaven forbid you should go ahead and bank up any money, or save any money or plan for it. I just want you to take your teenager out shopping, or your pregnant adult daughter, because that gets just as expensive. But anyway, if I wanted, if I said I wanted you to go do that, but I didn't want you to check. Yeah, Betty said that would be scary. That would be scary, wouldn't it? So you wouldn't just jump in your car and start driving without checking the gas. You would make sure you had gas. You wouldn't take your teenager shopping without checking your bank account. And if you're really smart, you'll probably plan for it. You'll probably check to make sure you've got enough money. You'll save for a little while, maybe find out, what is he or she going to, going to want to shop for? Where are they going to want to go? You're going to need to know your child, are they going to let you buy things that are on sale, take a coupon, whatever. You have to know those things before you go. So, why are they important? You know, why are those things important before you check them? You don't want to you don't want to start these things without checking them. Well, it's because it's important. It's important. It would be, and like Betty said a minute ago, it would be scary. It would be so scary just to jump in your car and leave without checking your gas. It would be scary, super scary, to take your teenager or your pregnant adult daughter to the mall without checking to see how much you had in your account first. So why can we, it's important that we know these things. It's important. It's very important that we do it. So why do we take ordinary activities like this and plan for them, track for them? I mean, you know when you do and don't have gas, and if you don't, then you're a frequent visitor of AAA coming by with that little gas can, or friends and family that come to rescue you. But why are ordinary, they're everyday things like that, we don't think about them. We don't think about the fact that we planned for having gas. We don't think about the fact that we made sure, like my husband, when he's in town, he always makes sure that my gas tank's filled up before he leaves. We always make sure that we have these things covered, taken care of, and we try to plan ahead for shopping trips with kids and things like that. So they're important. Okay, well, arriving at your destination without having to make a side trip, waiting on AAA to come by with the gas can, is important. Guess what? So are you. You are important too. So I don't know why, as women, and I'm assuming most of us here tonight are women, why we don't take a little bit of extra time to plan for ourselves. And I think sometimes part of it is we think everything else kind of overshadows what we do for ourselves. So we're always the last ones that we take care of. We take care of everybody else first. I did want to mention one of the Weight Watchers leaders here in Knoxville is going to be going for she's got an oncology visit next week. She's a prime example. She takes care of everybody else. She takes care of her family. Her name's Mabel, if y'all would keep her in your prayers, but she takes care of her family. She takes care of her Weight Watchers members. She takes care of everybody else first, and she's been putting this off and putting this off and putting this off and putting this off. And Kim's exactly right. Being prepared leads to success. She has put this off so long that she has cancer, but she's got an issue. I mean, she's got some issues because she's waited so long to go. But we wait like we're not important too. You make sure your kids eat breakfast every morning. I mean, you wouldn't, put your toddler in the car with no gas without checking the gas tank and drive off to buy I'm exaggerating now, run off to buy clothes for the teenager without feeding the toddler, making sure you have gas and making sure you have money, for the clothes for the teenager. You just wouldn't do it. So we take care of everybody else. We make sure everybody else is fed, clothed, watered. You notice Dusty's in my lap because at this moment, even though it's very important that we have our chat, he was very important too because he was crying. So Mama put him in her lap. Okay, so let's talk about what we need to do to take care of ourselves. I think the boost awareness, it seemed, people were like, ugh, great. They're going to talk to us about tracking again. It's like going to a Baptist church and them talking about, I am Baptist, but it's like going to a Baptist church and when the sermon is about tithing and about giving, everybody's like, great. I know I'm supposed to. I understand why I'm supposed to. I understand that it's important. And I love Jesus and I want to do it. But everybody's like, ugh, I don't want to sit through this. So, that's like the tracking chat. This is the tracking chat. So why do you all think that it's important to track? So let's do this. Let's stop and do this first. Oh, and Cheryl says, does catching stink bugs count as exercise? I don't know. It depends on how many you got and how fast you had to chase them. But, so if you're watching this on YouTube, you're not going to be able to see this. But for our Facebook people, let's see, anybody who tracks. So people that do keep a tracker, let's do a thumbs up. So I want to know if you track, and it doesn't matter what kind of tracking it is. If you are currently tracking, I want you to do a thumbs up. And I'll do a thumbs up for myself because I do track. And we'll talk about how I track here in just a minute. So getting quite a few thumbs up. So it looks like you all are some tracking people. So how many? Okay, so those of you that track, okay, even if you don't track, how many of you think it makes a difference if you track? So if you think it makes a difference, let's do some hearts. So thumbs ups is you do track, and even if you don't track, even if you're not tracking, if you do track or even if you don't track, let me see some hearts if you think it makes a difference. So if you think tracking makes a difference, let's see some hearts. That's quite a few hearts. So if you're watching this later on YouTube, which is youtube.com/IfYouHaveAnEgg, if you're watching that later on YouTube, I know you can't see these, but that's a lot of hearts. Okay, did anybody do a heart so they thought it was important that it was tracking, but they don't track? Okay, I'm not going to make you all do a thumbs up or a heart for that, but you can either admit it freely here in the comments, or you can just know in your heart of hearts that you did, that you're thinking that way. So I think we all know that if you track, that it makes a difference. We made a commitment this week at our, Sally's saying she doesn't track anymore. She stopped about 2 weeks ago. Why did you stop, Sally? I've been Lifetime for almost 3 years, and I can't stop. If I don't track, I don't do well. I don't keep up with it. It's like jumping in my car with no gas. Tedder says she tracks everything. I mean everything. I think it makes a huge difference. And even I know a lot of even our Simply Filling people. We've got a lot of Simply Filling people here. Even they still track because they still need to know. Even if they're not tracking the exact points, they still track what they eat. So that they know where they're at, in the day. So we're going to talk a little bit about tracking in a second. But one thing that was funny, I was watching this morning when we were getting ready for church. We were watching TV, and hey Jan, you're late. Look, Jan is later than Sally, so you just got Sally off the hook. So anyway, we were watching TV this morning, and because I had John for like a couple of hours, but a Jenny Craig commercial came on, and they said, and whatever it is that they say on that, tracking never, or like, what is it? I can't remember what they call it. They don't call it tracking, but they say, like whatever, basically they're saying, they're making fun of us for having to track everything. Okay, I just want you to listen to me. Everybody lean in and listen to what I'm saying. They're still tracking. They just don't know that they're tracking because Jenny Craig is doing it for them. You can do the same thing. Jenny Craig's just doing it for them. So for them to say that they're not tracking is silly. They are tracking. Every bite that goes into their mouth is pre-planned. Every bite that goes into their mouth is hey Rose. Every bite that goes into their mouth it's pre-planned, it's pre-tracked for them, and they've just doled it out to them in the meals that they eat. So everything about Jenny Craig or any program like that, for them to say that you're not tracking, it's ridiculous, because they are. It's just pre-tracked before you ever receive the meals, in the mail or when you pick them up or whatever. So we're going to talk about some ways to do that for yourself later, because it's important. Tracking is important. And Carla says she's late. That was a lot of typing, Carla. Sorry. Hey, Carla. I'll read that later. So we're talking about tracking. We also get real food, because remember, what's our motto? Does anybody remember our made-up motto from a few weeks ago? This is a real, this is a real plan for, it's a real plan for real people who eat real food, or something like that, was our motto that we came up with. This is real food. And a little bit of tracking shouldn't make us give up, and stop working the plan. It can be easy. So I'll show you some tips for making it easy in just a few minutes. Okay. First things first. I have a question. Have any of you ever had a 100-point day? Okay, if you've had a 100-point, I'm talking a 100 smart point or more day, do thumbs ups again. So how many of you all have had, oh, and I just realized my ponytails are off. Okay, we'll straighten those out. Anyway, have any of you ever had a 100-point day? So, thumbs ups. We'll see how many of you will admit to it. Okay, got a few, got a handful. Okay, now we're starting to get some more. A 100-point day. Have you had a 100-point day? Yeah, you've all had a 100-point day. We wouldn't be here if we hadn't had a 100-point day. You just haven't tracked it. How many of you have had a 100-point day and you tracked it? That's a heart for you. Yeah, I've tracked them. I've done that before. Have you seen those negative numbers? It's not fun, but we tracked it. And Libby says she tells her members that they only have to track on the days that they want to lose weight. That's exactly right, Libby. That is exactly right. Yeah. And Cheryl says if one has 30 minutes to be online, one can spend 5 minutes tracking. Cheryl is exactly right too. Okay, so you girls that did the hearts for tracking a 100-point day, thank you very much for being honest with yourselves. Thank you very much for tracking. I'll tell you one reason why I think that it is important to track a 100-point day when you have one. I seriously think if you track it, you're aware, and remember we're boosting awareness because you are much more likely to stay on track and to stay focused if you know what you're doing. You know, it's like having a map. You know, you jump in the car that has gas. Remember, because we checked our gas first and we checked our bank account, because you know the teenager might or the adult pregnant daughter might want to go shopping. So you check that first, and then you check your map. So this is like a map. You have to know how you're doing and where you're going before you can go. So tracking a 100-point day just means that you're keeping up with life. I mean, life's going to happen. There will be days that you can't do anything about it. You know, you will have those kind of days, but I will say this, when I do track and when I do commit to track everything and I do go ahead and write everything down, I'm much more likely to put the third, fourth, or fifth piece of pizza down because I don't want to track it. You know, sometimes I'll stop eating faster. You know, like I'll stop at one cookie or stop at one brownie or one, you know, cupcake unless my sister made it, and then it's really hard to stop. But anyway, you know, if you track it, if you keep up with it, then you know you're much more likely to stay in control, to stay focused, to not get so carried away. And Kim is exactly right. She just said we need to be able to be honest with ourselves and not beat ourselves up. We all have 100-point days, okay? We all have them. Did you see how many thumbs went by and then how many hearts went by? We all have 100-point days. There's no reason to beat yourself up over it. Write it down. Know what happened, you know, and maybe, hey, and what if you kept it to 100 points? What if it could have just gone crazy and been a 200-point day and you kept it to 100 points? That's still something to be proud of. So, anyway, track them, track. I'm serious. Tracking is very important. I wish I had written down how many days Gwen has tracked in a row. I'm not going to act like I'm perfect. You don't have to be perfect at this. You just have to be better than you were yesterday. You know, and a little bit of, a little bit of something great is better than a whole lot of nothing. I don't remember. Somebody tell me what that saying is. But yeah, I'd rather have a little bit of something wonderful. So Gwen does track every day. She's on like, I want to say like day 1400 or 1500 or you know, something like that. But you don't have to be perfect to track. So let's talk a little bit about tracking. Why do you all think that it's important to track? And I know Carolyn says that she's traveling and it's hard when you're traveling, and it is. And Carolyn, I'm just gonna put a little plug here. We do have a chat for eating out and eating on the road. So if you look up the On the Road Again, if you look up the On the Road Again chat, it's got some ideas for eating when you're on the road. So you all keep putting up here why you think it's important to track, because there will be other people that need to see this. So yeah, keep typing. Let's see. Oh yeah, and Melissa, thanks Mel, she saved me. A little bit of something wonderful is so much better than a lifetime of nothing at all. There you go. So track a little so you can do something, so you can have something wonderful, rather than just not track at all. Okay, now I know y'all are talking about weeklies. I can see a couple of things coming up about weeklies, and then Nancy says keeps you mindful and accountable for everything you put in your mouth. That's exactly right, Nancy. And I know, I think it was on the Points Plus program, we talked about bites, licks, and taste, that everything you bite, lick, or taste still has some caloric value. It has some, maybe even some point value depending on how big it is. So you need to keep up with everything. Okay, my first question. When do you track? So there's a lot of different mindsets on that about when you should track. I know some people that track morning. I know some people that track afternoon and some people that track at night. So the nighttime people, I think, are either doing I forgot, I didn't track all day, so I'm going to try and play catch up and put it all in now. Or maybe they're pre-planning and tracking for the next day. I also know some people that do, I think it's called, it's called PM tracking or something like that, and they use dinner as their first meal. So dinner's their first meal, instead of like mine. Oh, and Dusty's got to go over because he's getting heavy. But so like on mine, the way I track, breakfast is my first meal, lunches, well, not lunch is not my second meal, but like breakfast is my first meal. I know some people that, yeah, and Lynn says if you bite it, write it. That's exactly right, Lynn. But I know some people that make dinner their first meal because dinner is going to be their biggest meal of the day. And so they count like whatever I was going to have for supper tonight, which I haven't had yet because I needed to get ready for this. I did have a little snack though. But they'll count the dinner for tonight as meal number 1, so that then they can plan meal number 2 and meal number 3, and then any snacks around it. Let's see, Mary says she needs to track because it's so easy to forget what you ate, and she could eat more, and cheat a little. No, we're not cheating. We don't need to cheat. We have weeklies that we can use for that. Okay, so when you track, it's always best to try and track before it goes in your mouth. And who's Casey talking to? Casey says somebody's her meal prep hero. I don't know who you're talking about. I've seen some pretty good ones in the group, but who are you talking to, Casey? So it's always best to know, to track before you eat it. So there's a couple of different ways that you can do that, but you need to try to track it before it goes in your mouth. If you track it, oh yeah, Sally, she is a good prepper. If you track it before you go in your mouth, you can always change your mind. So if you start to eat something, and you look up the points and you're getting ready to put it in your, put it in your tracker, however you track, and it's too many points, or you think, oh, I could do, want to do something else later, or friend calls and says, hey, let's stop for some coffee, and it's somewhere that you're going to want to spend some points. If you go ahead and track your meal before you put it in your mouth, you can always change your mind. Once you eat it, once it goes past your lips, it's too late. It's kind of too late. You still need to track it, but it's a little too late to change your mind. So try to track it before you eat it. I know some people that track while they're eating, and sometimes that's what I have to do. So sometimes I don't get a chance to track it before I actually eat it, and I have to track it while I'm eating it. I try to do that as a last resort, and then as I'm eating it, I literally have my phone out and I'm tracking it as I'm eating it. That way too, you don't forget anything. So you need to at least get it tracked while you're eating it. Before would be better, but you need to at least get it tracked while you're eating it so that you get everything down before you have a chance to forget. I don't know about you all, but when it comes to eating some things, my memory gets really short. Oh, I only had a half a cup of Halo Top ice cream. I didn't go back and keep eating that until the whole container was gone. I do not remember eating that entire container. I don't know who ate that whole bag of chips. Where could that be? So yeah, my memory gets real short if I don't track it either before I eat it or if I track it while I'm eating it. It gets real short. So yeah. Okay. Some people, and I know one girl, it's like some people do it the night before. They'll go ahead and track what they're going to have the next day. Some people have the luxury of pre-planning their day and they can go ahead and get that down, before the day even starts. like the night before. Some people can plan the night before, go ahead and get it down. Some people the day before. And we had one girl in our group who has small children, and so she, and Sheila says she tracks in the morning for the day. Since she takes her lunch to work, then she tracks as she prepares supper. That's a good idea. So we had one girl in our group that has small children. She literally does all of her meal planning, meal prepping, and her tracking on Sunday. Wow. I think maybe that's a self-defense mechanism, because maybe that's the only time that she gets, like without the kids, maybe. But she has this elaborate plan. I mean, an elaborate plan. She knows exactly what they're going to eat. She knows exactly what she needs to get at the grocery store. She knows exactly everything. And it's all written down, and it's all recorded, and she has it all planned for the entire week. And I just kept thinking, every time she talks, and we actually haven't seen her in a little while, but every time she talks, I just kept thinking, wow, that's either really amazing or really frightening. And I don't know which one it is. For me, that amount of pre-planning is kind of terrifying. But if you've got, like if you're a creature of habit, like I know my accountability buddy eats almost exactly the same thing for breakfast and lunch every single day. There's absolutely no reason she couldn't go ahead and pre-track her breakfast and her lunch every single day. She does not deviate from that. I mean, does not. And her morning snack, she already knows what that is going to be. So really the only things that she would need to track would be if she, whatever she's going to have for dinner, and then if she was going to have an evening, like if she had an afternoon or an evening snack. So she could go ahead and get rid of 3 things a day: her breakfast, her morning snack, and her lunch. 3 things that she does the same every single day. I eat something different every single day, which is why this whole blog thing kind of, came about, because I couldn't remember, what I'd made. I couldn't remember what I'd made, what I'd liked, whatever. So that's how the whole thing, kind of came into being. And Mel says she plans her, she menu plans her dinners, but that's all, and her breakfast and lunches are pretty much routine. So Mel could do some pre-planning. She could get some of that done. And Sybil says she's not that organized. I'm not either. But you girls that have been around a while know my organizational skills, and we'll go over them again here in just a few minutes. Then we have the after the fact tracking. Not the best idea. So I'm going to suggest that we try not to do the after the fact tracking unless it just happens. Life happens, because it does sometimes. So after the oh, Lynn says it looked delicious. Thank you, Lynn. And Cheryl says she cooks all of her meals for the week on Monday, so it's the same other than snacks. So see, Cheryl could go ahead and pre-plan. Sounds like Sybil could go ahead and pre-plan her morning snack and afternoon snack, because they're the same thing every day. So see, right there, you just got rid of 2 things that you have to do today. How easy is that? You can go ahead and pre-track them. So the after the fact tracking, if you have no other choice, I'm going to say let's try not to get in the habit of doing that, because again, the old memory, starts to go. So let's try not to get in the habit of doing that. But it's better if you did just lose the day, like it just went away, which happens sometimes. Post tracking is better than no tracking. So, okay, I don't know, Sally and somebody are starting something up again about a squirrel. Anyway, I'm not going to get distracted by the squirrel, Sally. So sorry. But anyway, post tracking is better than no tracking. So I would rather that you spent a few minutes and wrote something down, what you do remember of what you had, than not tracking at all. And what happens if you don't track one day? So you miss a whole day tracking, an entire day, or a couple of days, or a week, or you're on vacation and you decide not to track that week. Guess what happens? Nothing. You get a new day to start all over again. So if you miss a day, this is my philosophy. If you miss a day of tracking, or if you just go wildly over your points, or whatever, start the next day new, like just a new page. So if you get 30 points a day, start the next day with 30 points. And if you get, depending on how many weeklies you get, let's say if you get, I don't know, I'll have to do some math that I can figure, because John's not here to do my math. Oh no. Let's say you get 30 points a day and, I don't know, make it easy, 35 weeklies. So isn't that, is 7 times 7, 35? I'm so bad. So let's say you get 35 weeklies. Yeah, so if you get 30 points a day and 35 weeklies, and that's 7 weeklies a day if you average it out over the 7 days. So if you miss a day, or if you miss a couple of days, or if you miss a week, just go back. But 27 isn't divisible. Wait, is 27 divisible by 7? Lord help us all. I can't do math. Anyway, so yeah, 3, right? Anyway, so do start the next day. Start the next day. So you missed a day. Big deal. You missed a couple of days. Okay. You missed a week because you went on vacation, or whatever, a parent in the hospital, or something happened. So go back to that. Go back to just start the next day. And then I would say however many weeklies you get, divide those up by 7, and then the next day, I know Cheryl's laughing at my math skills. Anyway, just go back, just divide up whatever your weeklies are and do that for the next day. So if it's 30, if you get 30 points, and then you get, you could have, if you divided your weeklies by 7 and you could do 5 weeklies, then the next day just keep it at 35, whatever, but just start again that next day. Don't wait until your next weigh-in cycle. Don't wait until you go back to your next meeting. Don't wait until your next Sunday chat. Go ahead and start tracking again. Okay, and somehow it is already 20 till. I swear I blinked a second ago and it was 8:30. Okay, so let me move on to the next part. The next part is, how do you track? Okay, my people that attend meetings, how many of you pick up a paper tracker? So if you pick up a paper tracker at your physical meeting, do a thumbs up while I get a sip of water. Okay, so you attend. So my thumbs up girls, and I don't think we have any guys tonight. Do we have any guys tonight? If there's any men out there, give us a shout out, because it looks like it's all girls tonight. But anyway, so any of my girls that go to a physical meeting and you pick up a paper tracker, and I didn't grab one for tonight's chat, sorry, I can't show you. But they do still have the old school paper trackers. If you get one of those, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. The paper trackers are awesome. It's a paper tracker, paper planner. It's awesome. They've got room to write things in them. When you get your stickers, you've got places to put your stickers on there. You have plenty of room to write. It's got everything on there that you need. I think the paper trackers can be a way to go. You can keep track. You can like write the dates on the front, and then you can keep a little stack of those. So if you have really good weeks. I know some people who decorate their paper trackers, put stickers all over them, draw doodles on them, things like that, on the paper ones, and then they keep them. And then when they have a not so good week, they can go back to the ones where they drew, fun things. Hey, I had a great week, whatever. They can pull those out and then repeat that week. Just please don't make any frowny face trackers. Yeah, just don't do that. You can also use journals. I know that Weight Watchers has a journal, and who was it today that posted on, somebody posted in our group, like, gosh, I'm going to say like, it was like 19 years of journals. I think it was that many, but yeah, you can use journals. Journals also can be a fun way to keep up with it. I basically do journaling I don't do journaling for my tracking, but I do it for my recipes so that I can flip back through a paper book. I don't know, I'm a magazine girl, so even though I love to do online stuff, and these, you can see, I still pick up one of these every week and I still write on it. I've got notes in them, so I love doing, things on paper. So you can do a journal. The index cards, and the girls that are participating in the index card swap, do y'all know how many of these we have to make? It's over 500. Yeah, over 500. So Casey and I are working on it. I promise they'll eventually get mailed out, but I'll send y'all a separate message. But index cards, and you know, we had our index card swap, and if you missed the index card swap, you can go back and watch it here on Facebook. You can watch it on the blog, www.IfYouHaveAnEgg.com, and just search index, or you can watch it on YouTube. But the index cards are a great way to, yeah, Mel said, wow, that's a lot of index cards. Yeah, that was from the first swap, so we got to do it differently next time. But anyway, the index cards are a great way to keep up with it. So a lot of times, if I don't have time, if I'm not going to have time to track, or if I have the opportunity to pre-plan, then I'll just go through my index cards, and I'll find, okay, let's see, I need a 30-point day, and so here's a 5-point lunch, and here's a 2-point snack, and here's a 4-point breakfast, and here's a, you know, and I'll just keep add them together, and I'll go, yep, I've got everything for that, don't need to go to the store, I've got all that, not a problem, you know, and that way then I come up with my 30-point, you know, so whichever cards it is for my 30-point day, and then I already have my cards, that's pre-planned, it's pre-tracked, I don't have to worry about what I had later, I already know what I had, it's all right here, it's on the, you know, it's on the cards that I pre-set out. And so, yeah, Carolyn says she likes the idea of the index cards, but it's a lot of work, but you do it once. So you only write down, like this one is just an easy snack from and I put on there that it's from Trader Joe's, so I know when I go to Trader Joe's I buy this. So it's 2 tablespoons of Trader Joe's cilantro and jalapeno hummus and assorted veggies, because they've got veggies already cut up. That's 2 smart points. You wrote that down one time. Once. So this is written down one time, and now I have it forever. So if I need a 2-point snack, you know, I can grab it. And I also color code them, so I know, you know, I know the color coding. So, you know, I've got a 0 to 3 color code, a 4 to 7 points color code, 8 to 11, and 12 plus color code. So they're color coded, so I can just grab them, you know, and go if I need to. I also keep lists like this, and this is what I send out with John when he's on the road. So I've got a couple of, you know, things on here. So I know we had somebody that's traveling right now, so I keep a cheater list of, you know, of things. It's like Taco Bell, a Doritos Locos Tacos is 5 smart points. A Wendy's small chili with their sour cream is 5 smart points, the small. A Chick-fil-A grilled chicken nuggets, 12 of them is 3 smart points. Chick-fil-A egg white grill, 8 smart points. Panera half of a medium veggie and 1 cup of black bean soup is 11 smart points. Cracker Barrel chicken tenders and green beans plus brown rice is 11 smart points. If you're staying in a hotel, you can get, if it's got a refrigerator, you can get hard-boiled eggs. You can keep peanut butter and bananas. You can get instant oatmeal. They've all got hot water. And you can get, or you can take like dry Cheerios. So there's no reason that you can't already, you know, pre-plan some of this stuff. So this is my cheater sheet, or this is a copy of my little cheater index card for John, so he knows what to do when he's traveling. And Kim says she loves any excuse to use her colored pens and highlighters. Me too. And yeah, and Sally says keep the index cards right next to the computer, so when you see a recipe, you can write it down right then. Right then, one time. You have to write it down one time. Not like me and Casey, they're having to write it down hundreds of times. But anyway, okay, so index cards are a great way. The girl I was talking about before that does all of that pre-planning, she's doing it on a calendar. Lord have mercy. But it's this giant mom calendar. So it's one of the ones that has like the giant squares where you can say, you know, where every child is supposed to be. I don't even remember how many kids she has, but anyway, where every child is supposed to be, what they're supposed to be doing, who's got soccer practice, who's got ballet, who's got whatever. Well, she's going ahead and pre-planning all of her meals on there, and for her, she's writing down her smart points. So she can literally look at her calendar at a glance, and she knows, okay, Susie is supposed to be at ballet, and I don't know, just got to make up some names. Mowgli, because that's the grandbaby's name, according to me. Anyway, Mowgli has to be at soccer. and I've got a snack for both of them, and for breakfast I'm going to have this, 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 and blah, 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 whatever. So at a glance, she can see all of that on one calendar with the food, with what she got at the grocery store, with what's already been prepped, and with the smart points. So she's not actually tracking it anywhere else. It's already pre-planned for her there on her calendar. There's nothing wrong with writing it down on your calendar. You don't have to do a journal. You don't have to keep it in a paper tracker. Write it on your calendar. You know, and if you don't need to know specifically what you ate, if you don't need to go back and repeat it, just write the points down. And y'all quit worrying about the angry face. Just move on. Just move on. Okay, yeah, and Casey said that the baby's name won't be Mowgli after Disney because they're going to do, they're keeping it a secret from John and I at my request. And so I guess we're going to have some kind of a reveal at Disney. I don't know. So she thinks that I'm going to quit calling the baby Mowgli after that. Haha. I'm going to keep calling it Mowgli. Okay, so picture tracking. I think picture tracking can be a great way to do that. Sometimes I do that. If y'all haven't noticed, I post pictures of almost everything I eat, and then I put down how many points it is. And that's a great way for me to go back. I actually do sometimes scroll back through and I'll think, where did I go wrong here, you know, today or whatever, you know, or, you know, I just need to pick something. So I've got them on, you know, so when I do my picture tracking, I track them on here on the Facebook page, in the Facebook group, and also on Pinterest. And Sybil says I love Pinterest. Yes, Sybil, exactly. So I do track them on Pinterest. On my Pinterest, and you can do this too, I have all of everything that I eat divided out into my Pinterest boards are by smart points. So I've got a 0 smart point board, 1 smart point, 2 smart points, 3 smart points, you know, whatever. And then I also have for recipes, so that if I need to go find the recipe, I can just look it up fast, or like a meal idea or whatever, I can look it up fast and know what the points are, but I keep them on the board so I can find them fast on the boards too. And Casey is saying, so that I can say this for the people that can't see this, that the baby's name is either John Paul or Alyssa Lily. They already know the gender of the baby, and I don't. The baby's name is Mowgli. Anyway, that's a long-standing, you know, joke. Okay, now, and Sally's got my attention again. Can't she see the post? I don't know what she's talking about, because I've been trying to pay attention to get y'all out of class again on time tonight. Because wasn't that nice last week that we got out at like 1 till 9? Wasn't that nice? And remember, I haven't had supper yet. Yeah. So, but anyway, so Pinterest is a great idea. And you all, I mean, set up boards like that too. You can copy it. I don't care. Yeah, do it. So anyway, so setting up the boards like that, I think, are a great idea. So the picture tracking. If you don't, if you're not attending a Weight Watchers meeting, or you do not have e-tools, or you're not doing Weight Watchers online, then there are apps like iTrackBots that you can use. I know that's what Casey and Alan are using, because even though they have unlimited access to me, they still need a way to track it on their own. And, you know, they are kind and don't call me every single time. Kim says, so Mowgli Paul or Mowgli Lily? Exactly. That's exactly right. Yeah. But anyway, they don't abuse those privileges. So yeah, so they use iTrackBots. Okay, the Weight Watchers app. So how many, let's see, I need to know how many physical meeting attendees we have. So if you attend a physical meeting and use e-tools, so I'm not talking about online. If you do, well, it is online, but if you attend a physical meeting, give me a thumbs up. So, and by attending a physical meeting, you have access to e-tools if you want it. So thumbs up for physical meetings. And if you're, you can comment in here, and I'll see all those. And if you are watching this later on YouTube, please do comment if you're watching these on YouTube. I see those. I get them on my phone. And I hardly ever get any messages on YouTube. It's very lonely. It's very lonely on YouTube. Y'all only talk to me on Facebook. So YouTube would appreciate it if you all would comment. Wow, and Karen goes to 2 meetings a week. Awesome. And there are 2 meetings that you're not teaching. You're just attending 2 meetings a week. That's great. Okay, now how many of you are how many of you all are doing Weight Watchers online? So Weight Watchers Online, give me some hearts. Cheryl says she's online. Okay, so if you're attending physical meetings, I hope that you are using eTools. It's available to everyone. I know it's a tiny bit more money, but trust me, it is well worth it. If you're doing Weight Watchers Online, you are basically using like a blown up version of eTools, of eTools. So on the Weight Watchers app, I hope everybody knows this, but first you can track. You can look almost everything up. I will say this, if you look it up on the Weight Watchers app, first of all, if you look it up on the Weight Watchers app or on Weight Watchers Online, if it seems too good to be true, please take just a moment and go back and recheck the points. Like if you can get the nutritional information and recalculate the points, please do me a favor and do that. I have not seen when they first came out with it or when I first started using it, there were a ton of mistakes. It's only on rare occasion now that I see mistakes. Do be aware too, though, that some of the things are submissions from other Weight Watchers members who may or may not have been as careful as you in checking their points. So if it says that there are, that such and such has so many points and it has a person's name underneath it, unless you see multiples with the same points, you might want to go back and check them, because that, not everybody's as cautious on putting their information in. So you can find everything there, and you can go ahead and track it. You can adjust the quantities. Like sometimes I'll put down, like sometimes I'll have it. Okay, I'm going to eat, 35 of the poppables, the white cheddar poppables for I think it's 5 smart points. And I'll get distracted. More often than not, I end up eating more than less, and yes, do use the scanner. Betty says she loves the scanner, and Carolyn says yes, the scanner. But more often than not, I'll end up eating more, and if you're using eTools or if you're using Weight Watchers Online, you can go back in and you can touch it and you can adjust it so that you can go up or down if you need to. And that happens too. So I'll put something in and then I'll go, oh, wow, that's going to be 5 points if I use that much. Maybe I'll just use half that much and it'll be 3 points, and I'll go ahead and adjust it. You can still adjust it before you put it in your mouth. After it's in your mouth, it's too late. I still want you to track it, but it's too late. I hope y'all also know that you can do favorited meals. You can favorite the meals or recipes on there so that you can go back and use those. Like what I had for breakfast yesterday, this morning when I got ready to track breakfast, it said swipe to track. I wish I could show you, but we're on my phone, so I can't show you. But you can do swipe to track, so if you do the same meal over and over and over again, you can just swipe, swipe, swipe. Okay, how much time does that take? So the poor people over at Jenny Craig with their frozen meals are still trying to crack into their pre-packaged icky meal. They're still trying to crack into that, and all you did was go swipe to track. Okay, so Marie Osmond, what's the big deal on tracking? We can do it because we get to eat real food because we're real people on a real plan. Don't anybody send her after me. Okay, and Mel says she uses swipe to track. It's awesome, and she uses it all the time since she routinely eats the same breakfast. Yep. You can change the serving sizes. You can change all of that, stuff. And she uses the save a meal thing too. Yeah, save a meal. I do that too, and you can name it. You can name the meal things. So like my Trader Joe O's and maple pecan granola with the almond milk and the banana thing is just called O's. I just named it O's, but I know what that means. So, okay, it also allows you to pre-track. So if you're going to be out and about and you're not going to have time to track as you go, or you want to go ahead and, pre-plan, like what you're going to have for dinner or the next day or whatever, you can pre-track. You can go ahead and put it in there. Okay, so real quick, we got to talk about blue dots. So y'all are not getting out at 9. So sorry, because we do have to talk about blue dots. Okay. Blue dots. Does everybody know what blue dots are? That's the last thing we're going to talk about for the Weight Watchers app. So, blue dots. Yeah. Does everybody want to have a blue dot day? When I first discovered these, I got a little crazy. So, if you are on Weight Watchers Online, or if you're using eTools, you can earn blue dots. If you know what a blue dot is, do a thumbs up. If you don't know what a blue dot is, not a problem, because we're all here to help you, and we're getting ready to tell you about it. So on the app, and this has to be on the Weight Watchers app or on eTools, so you have to be using a Weight Watchers program to get blue dots. You can still record blue dots if you want to participate. I just have to tell you how to do it. So on your app, when you're on your home screen, so when you're on the app for either Weight Watchers, the Weight Watchers online, or for eTools, you go, the things at the bottom say, one of them says my day, then there's like a little graph, you know, like a little, it's got dots, little graph chart, and it says journey, and then the next one says connect, and then the last one says profile. Okay, so it's that second one. It's the one that says journey, the one that looks like a little graph with the dots on it. Okay, when you touch that one, when you're on your home screen and touch that one, it's going to take you to your journey progress screen, and that's where you record your weight too. Okay, so it's going to have, and yes, I know this is backwards, so remember, YouTube people, don't tell me that it's backwards. Okay, so can everybody see that? You can see the blue dots. Okay, so what it'll do is it's going to track that. This will track your blue dots for you, and you don't have to write them down. To get a blue dot, you've got to stay in your healthy eating. You've got to stay in the healthy eating zone. It's a little bit harder for me to stay in the healthy eating zone because I'm on maintenance since I'm on Lifetime. So I have to eat a whole lot more points some days. I know that's sad, isn't it? Than I normally would have done. Oh, and Diane says that 3 of them have a blue dot challenge going. And if they reach a certain amount of dots in a certain amount of time, they reward themselves with something that is non-food. Awesome. That's awesome, Diane. That's a great idea. Okay, and Margaret's got to go because she's got to get up at 4. Margaret, I got to get up at 5, and I still haven't had supper yet. Have a good evening. We'll see you next time. Well, I'll probably see you in a couple of days, but okay, so your healthy eating zone is from 3 smart points below your daily target to 7 smart points above. So again, if you were in that, let's just say 30, because the minimum for everybody is 30. Some people get more, but the least you will get is 30. So if if it's 30, no more than 3 below or 7 above is your healthy eating range. So that would be 27 to 37. So as long as you get somewhere in between 27 and 37, then you're going to get a blue dot because you'll be in your healthy eating zone. And for each day that you track within that zone, you're going to get a blue dot, and it's going to show up on there. Then you can see, you'll start to see your month fill up with blue dots, and Lynn's already got 17 blue dots so far this month. And you can go back and see, you can kind of track your history at a glance, so you can see, the blue dots that you had for that week. Then you can compare that to your weight losses. And okay, I don't want anybody to get obsessed thinking that if you get all blue dots that you're automatically going to have a weight loss. We've talked about how fickle the scale is, and how mean it is sometimes. So, this is a great way to track success outside of the scale. So remember, when we talk about being beyond the scale, if you are a blue dot girl, this is a great way to track your success outside of the scale, is by keeping up with the blue dots. So I'll tell you a couple of things that happens to me when I try for blue dots. Okay, first of all, mine is 33 to 43. Since I'm Lifetime and I'm on maintenance, the range I have to stay in, or that I have to stay in to get a blue dot, is 33 to 43. So 43 is no problem if I'm going out, or if it's pizza night, or whatever. So that's no problem. But for some reason, getting to 33, if it's not on a night that we're doing something like that, these last couple of nights I've struggled with that, tonight being one of them. But I'll tell you what it does for me to try and be in the blue dots. So we committed at our meeting this week that we would try and get blue dots all week. So even if we don't get blue dots for the rest of the month, from the beginning of the month, whatever, that we were going to try and get blue dots all week. So I got a blue dot. So far, my meeting is on Tuesday. I had a blue dot Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Today's Sunday. I'm planning on finishing up this week. with all 7 blue dots. I've been very, very careful. I have tracked everything. I've tracked every single thing that I've put in my mouth, even a Lifesaver. I tracked it when I put it in my mouth. Tic Tacs, tracked them all. So, let's see. Oh, Karen says, you inspired me to go put my bag up, put her dry cereal bags for breakfast and made some popcorn for snacks. Very good. Very good. So, yeah. So the blue dots make me very aware. So here's what I've done. I've counted everything, and again, it takes 2 seconds. Go ahead and put it in a bag. You know, just like Karen said, go ahead and baggie up those things that you eat frequently. You know, I pre-baggie up popcorn. I pre-baggie up the Poppables chips. Things that I need to just be able to grab them and go. I pre-baggie up the Dusty's favorite, the vanilla goldfish crackers. I go ahead and pre-baggie those up. Casey has some fudge goldfish crackers already pre-bagged up and in my purse, and I don't know where Sally went because just all of a sudden she's back again. But anyway, so go ahead and do that so you can get it going. Makes it easier to track too if you've already got things pre-bagged. But when I'm trying to get a blue dot, and Casey's excited about the fudge goldfish, but when I'm trying to get a blue dot, it makes me I'm not spending any more time on it, no more time on it, but it just makes me hyper aware of what I'm eating to make sure that I'm getting everything, and also, you know, to bulk things up, which is a whole nother chat. But I will tell you what it has done for me, because I have I've kind of micro-focused on what I'm eating and making sure that I'm, you know, staying within that healthy range every single night. Guess what I've been able to end the night with, because I've been so careful. Now I've eaten real food, you know. I mean, I had a hot ham and cheese for lunch today, and I had Poppables chips, and I had Famous Dave's spicy pickles and a clementine. I mean, I had an entire paper plate of food. I mean, a whole plate of food. This morning I had a pumpkin French toast Wego, which is my surprise from last week. Yeah. That recipe is up. So this morning I had a pumpkin French toast Wego, a piece of ham, and something else. I don't remember what kind of fruit I had this morning. A pear this morning with some more pumpkin spice on it. But I'm still eating a ton of food. But guess what I have had points for every single night this week with my blue points? Yeah, Halo Top ice cream and goldfish crackers. Both. So just by being cautious during the day, making sure that I know what I'm eating, you know, doing a little bit of planning, using my index cards, using the tracker on my phone. And Kim says, my guess was close, Kelly. Yeah, no, Kim, you were right on it about what the recipe was. Yeah, it is. It's a pumpkin spice French toast Wego. And my gosh, it was good. So when y'all get off here, you're going to have to go check it out. But anyway, yeah, I've had ice cream every night this week because I've been careful to plan. How much more time has it taken me? Each day, maybe 5 minutes. I mean, seriously, it's only taken me just a handful of minutes, you know. So, yeah, I think it's worth it. So I want y'all to do me a favor. How many people commit? Because I think we've got most everybody here. I know Margaret had to go into bed. But if you will commit to, and if you don't, if you're not on eTools, and Mandy, honey, you're like right at the end. But if you don't have eTools, or if you're not on Weight Watchers Online, just draw yourself a blue dot. You don't have to, you know, get a sticker, get blue dot stickers, or draw yourself a blue dot. Or if you're doing a journal and you stayed within your healthy eating range that week. And Lisa ordered some of the pumpkin spice. Oh gosh, theirs is a little bit different. I don't know if it's got extra cloves. That's a whole nother subject though, Lisa. Not gonna get started on that. But anyway, if you're tracking on a calendar, like the girl I was talking about, just draw a blue dot on every day that you stayed within your healthy eating range. If you're doing journal, just draw yourself a blue dot. If you're doing the, yeah, and Mandy says, I know, I'll rewatch it. And Mandy, yeah, thanks for having a power tea for your profile picture even after yesterday. Ugh. Anyway, doing, so however you're tracking, give yourself a blue dot, even if you're not online or doing e-tools. Okay, but let's go back to blue dots. Can I get everybody to commit to try and have 1 week? Just 1 week. I'm not asking you for a whole month. Who will commit? Who will commit? Show of hands. Come on. Thumbs ups. Who will commit to having 1 week of blue dots? Because I'm going to ask you next week. Just 1 week, 7 days. That's all I want is 7 days. And Tedders, are you asking me if the pumpkin spice is good or if the pumpkin spice Wego was good? Because the answer is yes on both. Okay, that's quite a few thumbs ups. Oh, good. Look, we've got some people saying they're going to do it. Okay, I'm counting on you guys, girls. Carolyn says she'll do it when she gets home from vacation. Carolyn, I think there is nothing wrong with just hanging in there on vacation and then starting right back in when you get in. Okay, good. Okay, I'm proud of you all. I'm going to hold you to it. So, let's see. Cheryl says, will the blue dots show if doing SF? Yeah, Cheryl, if you're tracking, they should still show, I would think. Okay. Okay, and Kim just joined. Kim, we're done. We're done, honey. You're going to have to go back and watch this later. And anyway, you should be in bed because you're supposed to be working on Mowgli's kitchen tomorrow. That's our friend Kim. Okay, so who's ready to see Dusty? Dusty's ready for you all. Everybody. Okay, so y'all keep those blue dots coming. And oh, thank you. Donna said it was a great class tonight. Thank you. No, thank you all. I do appreciate y'all being here. Thank you for letting me go. Holy cow. Thank you for letting me go 11 minutes over. Eee. Okay, and even if you didn't get your, yeah, and look, Kim's found the blue dot emojis. So, yeah, use those. So give yourself a blue dot on Pinterest. Give yourself a blue dot, you know, anywhere. Okay, so I'm super happy to see that a lot of you all are in, or on, or whatever that you're in. You're in with us. I see you. For doing the blue dots, let's try to get a week's worth of those done. Okay. I want to see some blue dots. Hey, and if y'all will post them on, if you'll post your days on in the If You Have an Egg group, then I'll give you a blue dot. How about that? How does that sound? But you got to post it with the points, and then I'll give you a blue dot when you get done, okay? Okay, Dusty, tell everybody good night, because Mama is hungry, and I'm going to go eat. Okay, we'll see y'all next week. I want to see how you're doing with your blue dots. Thanks, guys. See you next week. Bye.